So, you've got some extra cash and you're stuck at that classic financial crossroads. Do you invest it for the future or do you throw it at that nagging pile of debt? You know, it's a question that causes total paralysis for so many people. Well, today we're going to dive into this and build a super clear plan you can start using right away. Here's the tough part, right? The fear of making the wrong choice often leads us to do, well, nothing at all. And what happens? Your money just sits there in a checking account, getting eaten away by inflation, while your debt gets bigger and your retirement account stays empty. We are going to fix that starting now. Man, this quote really hits home, doesn't it? Because that stress is very, very real. But here's the secret. There isn't one single right answer. There's only the right answer for your specific situation. So in this explainer, we're going to give you a simple step-by-step framework so you know exactly where your next dollar should go. No more guessing. Okay, before we even get into the whole debate, there is one non-negotiable first step. I mean, this is the one thing that pretty much every financial expert on the planet agrees on. Think of it like putting on your own oxygen mask first on an airplane. It's that important. Let's start with a number you just can't argue with, 100%. Seriously, what if I told you there's a way to get an immediate, guaranteed 100% return on your money? It sounds kind of like a scam, I know, but for a whole lot of people with a workplace retirement plan, it is absolutely real. So here it is. If your employer offers a 401k match, your very first and only priority is to contribute enough to get the entire thing. It is, and I mean this, literally free money. No debt interest rate is high enough and no stock market return is guaranteed enough to beat an instant 50 or 100% return. Always, always, always capture the full match first. All right, once you've secured that free money, now we can tackle the core of the debate. And thankfully, we can simplify the whole thing with a pretty simple rule of thumb that helps you sort out your good debt from your bad debt. This chart really puts the math into perspective. You know, the average historical return of the stock market, the S&P 500, is around 10%. But just look at the interest rate on credit card debt. It can easily be 22%, sometimes even higher. Paying off that debt is like earning a guaranteed 22% return on your money. No investment out there can consistently promise you that. Let that one sink in for a second. When you carry high-interest debt and you're also investing, you are basically borrowing money at a ridiculously high rate to chase a lower and totally uncertain return. When you frame it like that, it's a real aha moment, isn't it? Mathematically, it's just a losing game. And this brings us to a really solid data-driven guideline from Fidelity, often called the Rule of 6%. It's a fantastic little sorting tool. Here's how it works. If your debt's interest rate is above 6%, the math is crystal clear. Prioritize paying it down. The guaranteed return you get from not paying that interest is almost certainly going to beat what you'd earn in the market. Now, if your debt is below 6%, like a lot of mortgages or federal student loans, your money has a much higher chance of growing faster if you invest it. All right, let's keep building on this because there is an incredibly powerful account that gets overlooked all the time in this conversation. And honestly, it has some of the most amazing tax advantages you can find anywhere. I'm talking about the Health Savings Account, or HSA. Now, if you have a high-deductible health plan, you're eligible to contribute. And yeah, it's designed for medical expenses, but its real power is as a kind of stealth retirement account. This right here is why the HSA is a true financial superpower, the triple tax advantage. It is unbeatable. First, your contributions are tax deductible, which lowers your taxable income right now. Second, that money can be invested and grow completely tax deferred for years. And third, when you pull it out for qualified medical expenses, it's 100% tax-free. No other account in the US does all three of those things. And hey, here's a pro-level tip to really maximize that growth. It's called the shoebox strategy. The idea is you pay for your current medical bills with your regular cash, but you save every single receipt, like in a shoebox, get it? This lets your HSA money stay invested and just compound and grow for years, maybe even decades. Then, way down the road in retirement, you can pay yourself back tax-free for all those old expenses, creating this massive tax-free fund. Pretty cool, huh? But of course, while the math is clean, we all know that personal finance is never just about the numbers on a spreadsheet. It's also about our behavior, our emotions, and frankly, what helps us sleep better at night. This brings us to the two most popular ways to pay down debt. First, you have the avalanche method. This one's the most efficient, mathematically speaking. You attack the debt with the highest interest rate first, which saves you the most money over time. But then there's the snowball method, and this one is all about psychology. You pay off the debt with the smallest balance first, no matter what the interest rate is. And this is exactly why the snowball method is so effective for so many people. When you pay off a small debt completely, you get a quick, powerful win. That feeling of progress, it builds momentum, it builds motivation, and it makes you way more likely to stick with the plan. Sometimes the best plan isn't the one that's perfect on paper, it's the one you'll actually follow through on. Okay, let's put all the pieces together. We've talked about the free money, the math of good versus bad debt, a secret weapon investment account, and the power of psychology. Now, let's build the ultimate step-by-step action plan for your money. Think of this as your financial roadmap. Just follow these steps right in this order. Step 1. Before anything else, save up enough cash to cover your basic insurance deductibles. This stops a small emergency from turning into a big new debt. Step 2. Capture your full employer 401k match. We said it before. Don't leave free money on the table. Step 3. Aggressively pay off all that high-interest debt. Credit cards, personal loans, anything above that 6% rule. Treat it like a financial fire you have to put out. Step 4. If you have an HSA, max that thing out for those incredible tax benefits. Step 5. After that, start funding a Roth IRA for that sweet tax-free growth in retirement. And finally, Step 6. Any extra money can go towards investing more or paying down those lower interest debts ahead of schedule. So there you have it. You no longer have to be stuck in that paralysis of indecision. You now have a clear, logical framework to make the best possible choice for your money and, just as important, for your peace of mind. The only question left is, what mission will you give your very next dollar?